My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Arake Galadirathun, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the Woodland Realm, Thranduil and his elves. Now, I believe we're at an end turn, so I will not dilly-dally this time, and we'll go straight into it. But allow me to apologise yesterday for the Gondor video. There were 2 videos. However, the first one, as I didn't notice until it was pointed out to me by Wolferson, thank you very much, sir, actually missed the last 10 minutes of the episode. And that's because the game crashed twice, and so I had 3 videos, and I had to merge them all together. And for whatever reason, the merging software I used just did not merge the last video. So the video is 10 minutes shorter than it should have been. So I re-uploaded it, and by now, of course, you've all got the second uploaded version. Thranduil to take on this, but he can do it. So there was for a large chunk of the day there was no video, but I deleted the original videos so that when the new one goes up, you'll get a notification that there was another video. If you just replace an existing video, it doesn't notify you that there's been any changes, so I thought it'd be best to delete and replace. So that is exactly what I did. So that's to describe the confusion of yesterday, if indeed any of you did. Well, at the point that I deleted the video, only 400 people had seen it, so hopefully, given that the videos are raking in at the moment about 3,000 views each, that's not too bad. So the majority of you will never have even seen the version that loses the last 10 minutes, but some of you might. Now, we're up against nothing that's really threatening here, save for the Orc Maulers. So if we could hit those, please. Right, I will talk about DaC, because I am the leading modder of the team behind Divide and Conquer, myself and Hummingbird, and I lead it, so I'm going to talk about it, but I'll try and do it at least while there's a battle ongoing. And the only thing that is to talk about is I had hoped to implement, at the behest of El Monstero, one of our main testers, I had hoped to implement an Orc equivalent of the Fort Town posts. And essentially these would be an Orc Raider unit, and I probably will still bring them to you in 1.2. They're going to be the Orc Looter unit. So the unit that you can get when you join an invasion. There's a ranged Orc Looter and an Orc Looter. Now Hummingbird was going to knock up a new unit design for them, but unfortunately he's away for the bulk of the week after Christmas, when we want to get the patch out. So, I mean, potentially we could just hold off so that he can come back and edit the unit, but at the moment, if it does go through, they're just going to be standard Orc Looters, which are a bit boring. So I may hold off on that, and that'll be way down the line. The work that the Elite Dwarf is doing for the generic Northmen town campaign strategy models is coming along really nicely, and his towns look seriously cool. So I'm really, really liking those so far. Get that volley off and then run away. Oh, we got really lucky there. For some reason they totally ignored you. I mean, our strength here is in our archers, so if we can, we want to at least get a couple of shots off. Go on, turn around, fire. There we are. Now, I'm not worried about us being in melee, but if we can not get surrounded, that's when we get our strongest opportunity. But these units are incredibly powerful, the Elven Kingsguard. They really are. There's not much of a threat of losing this. In fact, there's almost no threat of losing this. But ideally, we would prefer to use our archers' arrows before we have to start fighting in melee. But that decision has pretty much been made for us. Oh, bugger. Thranduil's trapped. How can you not notice that Thranduil is trapped?
Pray something changes in the course of battle.
Come on.
Defeat seems almost certain.
Now we're in a right 4 and 8. Oh, well, this has just taken a drastic
Only half
turn.
the enemy force remains. Good tidings. The enemy general lies dead.
Thranduil is totally alone. The worst situation we could possibly get. Come on, come on.
The battle seems to be swinging
Break
in
through
our
to him, break
favor.
through to him.
From such tidings does victory emerge.
He might be alright. He might be holding on his own. Oh, yeah, look, they're not attacking him. And he's taking them down. Oh, bugger, they just side-flanked him.
Our men have fought long and are becoming tired.
Oh, dear.
Only half our force remains.
80% of them have died, though. I'm not too worried about the numbers we've lost. It's just if Thranduil gets caught on his own. But he's doing alright at the moment, jammy bugger. He's taking them all on. Oh, and they're routing. Bows up. Good, now Thranduil's safely on that side. Perfect! Ah, Shows you how strong this unit is. Even when things go absolutely tits
The
up,
enemy army flees the field.
they
This
still
is
do
a
the job.
clear
But we should
victory.
never have lost 32. That was a... he got trapped on that rock and couldn't move past it. That's a right pain. For those of you who might be interested, Rise of the Rajas. Yesterday I was talking about it. I was going to go and play it after recording. And... or on Monday, because we're all days behind. And it's quite enjoyable. It is quite enjoyable. The new factions look pretty cool. Some of their units look cool. They're interesting factions. So maybe in the new year we'll do and get a few more Age of Empires videos out showing off the new DLC units. Kaunithrenon. What an interesting name. No, thank you. New mission. Elm of Imladris? That's not a word. Realm of Imladris.
Yes, my
Yeah,
lord.
go on then. We'll send a diplomat through.
Without question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's hit and miss if you're going to get through that
planned
gap.
out.
Enethal got a Leather Tanner and is training some units for us. Dog, but it's Sylvan Elven encampment. Yes. And what's the free upkeep here? 3 from that. 3 from that. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's our money? Still making 4 grand even with that. I also had I'm training some more units from our capital. So I shifted out the army from the capital.
Come on!
And sending them to Erin to meet up with the army that we are training. In Erin and Enethal respectively.
Follow me.
And you two guys are coming for
Scatter
Roscabel.
them.
Roscabel, that's not what I
Ruins.
said.
Have
Roscabel.
your weapons ready, elves.
Orc Raiders, Dogledor Archers, Dogledor Host. I think they've got that.
By the light of Elbereth. Engage!
Give it a save. Now this campaign, in comparison to the others, really is such a more laid-back, relaxed affair. The elves are just so strong. Consider Angmar, where even though when we left it on Monday, it was kind of going well.
Turned against us. We must act and halt this turn of events.
You could suggest that it's turning a corner, and if we can beat the Linden army that's currently next to us, we have a hope. So that's very, very good. But in the Angmar campaign, it also has the potential to turn on its head at any moment. There is a constant threat that we are going to take severe losses, lose key battles, maybe even lose our entire leader base. Agendour might die, our Wraith guy might die, and our Rudaurian man might die. And there's lots of potential for catastrophe. I'm really all over the place. There's lots of potential for catastrophe in the Angmar campaign. Similarly, in the Gondor campaign, if Harad and Khand decide that I am worth their time, we could be in really serious danger. Because at the moment they've completely left us alone, but if they decide that they want to come and have a bite out of the pie that is Gondor, we're in real trouble. But at the moment, it's going fine. But in this campaign, and similarly in Khazad-dûm, there's no threat. There's just no threat. The elves are so powerful that if we were pushed back now, we'd be able to mass forces quick enough that the enemy just would not be able to stop us. And so it's a far more laid-back campaign, which I'm not bothered with. I thoroughly enjoy it. I like the elven unit design so much. Enough to keep me interested for a long, long time. Same with the dwarves. Despite the fact that the dwarves are really easy, they look cool, and you can get behind them as races, as cultures. There's an interesting feature to being the savior race, an all-powerful race of dwarves and elves that the humans just don't have. When you play as the elves, you get that feeling of just being so powerful that nothing can stop you, and you get that with the dwarves as well. And that's where the fun from these campaigns comes, I would suggest, because the difficulty is non-existent in these campaigns. If you're playing as any of the 4 elven factions and you're struggling, honestly, you're doing something wrong. The only foreseeable way I can suggest that you might be struggling in one of these campaigns is if you have imposed restrictions on yourself to make it difficult, or you have done something to make it difficult. For example, the last Elven campaign was only a little bit up in the air for us because I went straight out of Dol Guldur, didn't plan, didn't think, didn't do anything. I gathered all one army and I just methodically took the forest, leaving behind smaller and smaller garrisons and pressing on with a smaller and smaller army. And it came to bite me in the bud. Whereas this time, obviously, we're playing as the elves, you might say, actually do play. This is like the way to play as the elves. And we're having virtually no problem. But turning our attention back to the battle, I do fear that maybe this general is going to succumb to the sheer size of the force pressed against him, because these guys aren't going to be able to cut through fast enough. Although I would prefer it if every man was attacking. It just depends if we can break them or not. And if the general can stay alive, that would be very
Our men have
useful.
fought long and are becoming tired.
Really
Only
get
half
in there
our
and
force
surround them.
remains.
What's the stats? 83-54. He's down to 12 men. General still hasn't died yet, though.
The evil here must be lifted.
Where is the general? Oh, he's over there out on his own. No! He's stumbling and all sorts. Come on, guys.
Elves are the woodland realm.
Be quick.
It's all well and good what's going on here, but
The evil here must be lifted.
what happens if we try and run them away? Run away, run away, run away! Yes, he's out. Leave it to the 21. Sorry, I do leave it at times 6. But in these smaller battles where
The
it's
battle seems to be swinging in our
like
favour.
a done deal,
From
I
such
just don't like
tidings
to just
does victory
slowly
emerge.
endure the fighting. Just skip through it. We're really getting down to it now, the elves killing mercilessly. The enemy is basically dead, but because they can't run away, it gives them a big bonus. Keep the general out. Oh, the 19 of them are making their way through. Yeah, it's pretty much over now. There's hardly any of the enemy left alive. Let's watch this man take his last stand. Somebody commented on, I think it was Total War Center, saying about how basically he doesn't like the fact that the orcs get elite heavily armored units. And he specifically pointed towards Angmar and Dol Guldur. And he said it's
Good
not right
tidings.
when
The enemy general lies dead.
the only orc nation who should get heavy armor, Isengard, their elite units are not even as good as the mainstream units of Gondor.
Our men have taken
Although
control
there might
of
be
the
two
city.
comments I'm merging into one, I'm not sure. But someone did definitely moan about the Dol Guldur units being too heavily armoured and the Angmar units being too heavily armoured.
Our foe is utterly
So some
vanquished.
people
Let all who
don't like
remember
the fact
this
that there's
day
any heavy armour in
remember
the
it
orc
as
ranks.
the day of our most glorious victory.
43. 862. 400 men each, give or take, and one of them took 450. To explain that loading screen, that is a Corsair black ship. Reasonably obvious, of course, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. I'll try and get into the habit of explaining the loading screen. Although there are only 70 of them, so they will cycle around a lot.
Be safe once more. Claim it for the free peoples.
Alright, we've taken Roscabel with just 2 generals, which is perfect, but I could really do with sending a unit over there. Oh, did we reclaim or did we take Ostingile? I think we reclaimed, didn't we? Let's try and get more elves here then. Oh no, let's get a road in first and then try and get more elves here. Oh dear.
I'm gonna stick you.
He's on his way. How long have you got? Oh dear, minimum of 2 turns before we can get the Lorien Wardens and the Guthinen. And then you've got Ivana's Chosen and Elbereth Guards. Sylvan Alliance encampment. Get some Lorien units out. Looking good. How many generals have you got here? Just Legolas.
Sire, elves.
Legolas isn't as good.
At ease.
Follow me.
So you guys come back to Dol Guldur, and Legolas, you go to Roscabel. And our army is coming down
For the light.
in the turn. Oh, let's get my book out. What are we going to call this one? What on earth should we call this episode? Excuse me, sorry. I normally don't cough into the thing anymore, do I? Woodland 10. A day closer, everyone. You're watching this on Wednesday. I, of course, recorded it on Tuesday. We're closing in on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Nope.
Elves.
Might as well go to that one. It's slightly further forward, isn't it?
Be vigilant.
Or is it? Can we meet up somewhere down in the forest down here, maybe?
my lord.
What are you training now? 1 unit of those. They can be your free upkeep. So if you go out to here,
Onward, my
you
lord.
go down to there,
At
and I'll
ease.
take all of you.
Swiftly.
because that unit will train in 2 turns, and that will then fill your garrison, no problems. And Enethau, you'll train in 1 turn, and you'll be the garrison there. Have a leather tanner, what the hell?
Yes, my lord.
So you
For the
come down.
light.
Okay, Dol Guldur attacked us
Sire.
already,
Scatter them.
but
We protect the elf.
not very
I'm gonna
convincingly.
stick
So
you.
our generals did manage to get inside, which is always good. And we're a day closer. That means we're definitely going to get those 2 into our army before that large force arrives. Thranduil's Hall's got the Sylvan Alliance encampment as well. And Torvention Pass got its Gwaithir Runthine. Does it give us free upkeep? No, but it does give us a good solid chunk of money. I don't really need anything else from here, you're not really useful to me. We're making 4,000, that's a solid amount of money. None of these things are useful. I want things that are give me raw money. You've only got 1,000 people and you've got to get 10,000 to go any larger. Dear. They're closing in on Dwinberg. Who is this?
Have a taste of my blade.
Oh, I want to ship someone over there, but I haven't got anyone to send. Also, that's pretty much the end of the turn. We're
Your
just waiting for that army to head south into
As
the
you
forest
wish.
now.
What is it you wish to discuss?
Trade rights.
It's good. Very well. What else?
How are you feeling about
do I
map
have to
information? You
suggest?
better bloody give me map information. You've got like
Seems
1
like a most
province.
reason- Another proposition? No, we. An
I
honour
don't want
and
an
a
alliance,
pleasure.
though, 'cause they're stupid.
Farewell.
Oh, you've got 3. You took out on Enerod. Well done, says. Well done indeed. I head down to Fenestruan and
Yes,
let's see what we
stopping
can dig
here.
up. End the turn again. There's going to be a battle at Dol Guldur here, I just know it. I thoroughly enjoyed doing the faction overviews, and now that we've added those few other bits and pieces to the list of things to talk about, I'm just quite looking forward to doing them. I'm looking forward to doing them. I'm not just quite looking forward to doing them. I am looking forward to doing them. Sorry, I'm writing something down. Terribly boring. There we are. The Lord of Isengard is dead. Isn't the Lord of Isengard already dead? Didn't he die a little while ago? Oh, they are closing in on Dwinberg. Oh, and they're up there as well. Where's the army?
Elven warrior.
Assemble the army!
Swiftly.
Set up an ambush.
Kingdom of Heaven.
Come on. At ease.
They've trained, and they're only a turn away, so we're all good there. Dale, have you still got that? Yes, you have. Well done, sirs.
My lord.
Why don't you head over there?
Approaching
Oh, good lord.
quietly.
Dor Lingvar's holding on well. I could really do with Lorien pressing out across the river and taking Akhnodion. That would help a lot. You're getting that. That's the highest level hall, isn't it? Yes, it is a Valiant Council Hall, and then we can get an artist studio. And finally start turning the large culture over to us. In answer to the question that somebody posed to me, which is why do I execute the population in large towns? Well, number one is because at the very large town sizes, you do start to get affected by squalor, which negatively affects the happiness of the town, and things like that just bother me. I like every town to be happy, green faces. Not from because I'm worried about them rebelling. You can get them down to about 50% before they even consider rebelling. But just from I like everything to be uniform. I like everything to be the same, and they've all got to be happy. It bothers me. Secondly, I firmly believe, and this could be entirely a misconception on my part that I'm just totally unaware of, but I'm pretty sure that your culture will expand faster if you execute the population down to like the minimum that you can get it, and then it grows with you in control. It will go faster than it would if you just have the population static and you're trying to convert it. So if the town is very, very large to begin with, it's likely the population will either stagnate or decrease. And if the population stagnates or decreases, your culture takes longer to come into effect. Whereas if the town is allowed to grow, it will grow into your culture, which obviously is beneficial because then you can train everything faster, which is exactly what you want. And that's why I execute everyone. But also, it comes from like an almost role-playing element where I'm playing as the elves and the orcs own Dol Guldur. So naturally, I'm going to want to wipe them all out. I don't want to spare a single soul. and so that's what I do. It
seems
also
quite
often
reasonable.
destroys buildings
Very
that
well.
you
Else?
that you can't make use of,
I
which
do
is
not
just useful.
believe
You get the money
until we
for them.
meet again.
And they didn't want an alliance either, the jammy buggers.
Your
So it
orders.
destroys buildings that you can't use, and sometimes, which is
Yes,
good, because
I
sometimes
shall
buildings that
continue
have no
tomorrow.
purpose for you, and sometimes don't even have a name
my
if
lord.
you control them,
Swiftly,
they get
elves,
deleted
come
by
on!
the
We will not see
claiming
us
the
in the
city. It's
forest.
supposed to destroy every building that has no purpose for you. And by no purpose, I mean in the files where we designate which factions can build which buildings. If a building doesn't have an elven entry, for example, it's supposed to be deleted as soon as you take the town, because you aren't allowed to own it. Not just that you can't make use of it, you're not supposed to own it. So this, like, troll cage, for example, is one of those things. You would destroy the troll cage, and it's meant to destroy, but it doesn't. So a little bit of it is that. It's just destroying off those buildings that are meant to be destroyed. But mostly it just purely comes from habit. The fourth part of this, I am just so now used to executing everyone whenever I take a town, unless I owned that town or it's already a
This is
village.
our last stand, my friends.
Holy sugar balls, thank God that's not a village. Oh, Thranduil's in there. How far away is the army? Oh, Legolas, have you got any children? Because it's looking like you're about to become the general. Oh, yes, Legolas, you nice guy. Cornwython, Belthandian, and Morotar. And your sister, Caladwen, has also got Daemathor, Aranian, and Gwetherin Dolian. Aren't you impressed with how quickly I can speak the Elvish? Probably entirely inaccurately. But, what the hell? I thought about that. When I was thinking about... someone posted a link to a video of a guy speaking Sindarin, or Sindarin, as he kept saying. Sindarin, Sindarin, Sindarin. And he was saying about the pronunciation rules. And yes, there are clear pronunciation rules in Sindarin. And I accept that. But, what does he have, actually, before we start into this? Ballistae, 2 units of maulers, nothing really. What have we got? Oh, yes, we got a unit of woodland horse archers. Yes! When you come to speak another nation or another culture or another race's language, you come at it with what you already know. And of course, this means that the rules of that language don't always apply when you're speaking it. And this is obviously very clear. The best example I can give you of this is when a Chinese person who is usually either speaks Cantonese or Mandarin or one of the regional dialects, when they try and speak English, yes, they can speak English and you understand what they're saying, but they do not adhere to the sort of local rules of the language because of what they already know. And so I don't think you should be super anal when people are speaking Sindarin and you should be like, oh, it's not pronounced like that, it's pronounced like this. Because basically what you're saying is if you could ignore all of the speech rules that you've got in your own language and try desperately to learn all of the rules that these people have. And we've not been brought up speaking Sindarin, so we're not going to know the rules. The rules aren't going to be natural to us, and in many cases they aren't. They are not. Of course, Sindarin is based off of Welsh Finnish and then has a huge twist, Tolkien amending it and editing it and adding in his own rules and stuff. But that means that naturally a Finnish person or someone who can speak Welsh, which is quite a rare occurrence even now, and even in Wales, these people have a much easier time following the rules of Sindarin. Sindarin, and they'll have a much easier time. But if the rest of us slip up every now and then, it really doesn't matter, because you're speaking another language. So as long as someone understands the word that you're saying, whether or not you've said it 100% correctly, it just really shouldn't matter. And I mostly thought about that because, yes, we all call it Sindarin, and yes, technically Sindarin is incorrect, because the pronunciation of the I is always like double E, so it would be seen Darin, like I've seen Darin you. So seen Darin would be better. But then there's also rules about where you put the stress in words depending on how many syllables there are, blah 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 blah, which is all very interesting, yes, but you can still speak the language without strictly adhering to these rules. And I don't think it really does anything for the language to strictly adhere to those rules. And I would also suggest, which is pure conjecture, but Tolkien was a lover of languages, and he studied a great many of them. And I can't imagine he'd ever sit here correcting people left, right and centre, saying, you're saying that wrong, you're saying that wrong, you're saying that wrong. I just can't see him doing that. I think he'd be far more open about it. But that is, of course, a guess. No, I don't know him. None of you know him. None of you knew him, rather, sorry. And if you did, then I hope he was a nice guy. I mean, he comes across quite nice. Right, let's take down the ballistae while we can. I'm not sure what these cavs really like. I'm not sure if they're going to be good or bad. They've got a really ugly horse, haven't they? They're falling a lot to arrow fire as well. They are really dying to arrow fire. My word. They've also got a weird bug where they're holding the arrow in their offhand constantly.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Wing. I really don't like that horse. Its textures are just appalling. It just looks so blurry and rubbish. Oh well, how many did we kill off? Nowhere near enough. But we're just waiting for Thranduil to arrive and then we'll move up. I can't see us struggling in this battle. They may have the numbers, but we're elves. I mean, come on. Archers, ready your horses. Speed up, please. I'm surprised that the ballistae aren't shooting us. Another aspect, actually, that I also think with the accents is not only do outsiders speak our languages differently, or our languages differently, different sounds, they obey different rules in essence, but we even do that within our own language. I, of course, am from southern England, and I speak like a southerner. But were you to visit my country and go to, say, for example, Newcastle, Durham, Middlesbrough, that kind of area, the person that you talk to there is going to sound nothing like me, and they will use a totally different set of rules in how they speak. So to be so critical of a language which is no one's first language, no one on Earth's first language is Sindarin, I just think it is very small-minded. Good lord, they're absolutely shredding you, Thranduil. Do something about it, you daft bugger. And also, if you could hit those archers, because they're going to be a right pain. Now, these men will easily hold that line, so if you target the archers... Oh, no, yeah, you go and finish off the ballistae. You shoot them. We're going to go to time 6 again, because I just can't... The battles get... all the battles go very similarly, and you just want them to... It's only the really big key battles that I find all that interesting. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy seeing orcs die by elven hands. And I enjoy the game so much. That's why it's one of the few games I routinely play, and I obviously mod. But therein lies a problem. I do play it so much that it does get a little samey. Oh, target them. So I skip through the battles is the short of that story. Look at that. 4 per kill. Ah, we've shut it down. We've shut it down. There's only 11 of them left. Right. Thranduil, are you shooting the... Yeah, you are. It's not going to do too much, is it? You guys fire it whatever you like. There are 8 still left. How rubbish are these? 10 melee attack and a 10 to... Oh, they're like wargs. They're just wargs. They're elven wargs. I'm pretty sure those are the same stats for the wargs.
Defeat seems almost certain.
Why does defeat seem almost certain? We're winning, for God's sake. Oh, will you just do what I told you to do? No, run that way. Yeah, by all means. Daft idiots. That's the bloody... come over here and stop being stupid. Oh, they just killed their own man. Yes. Now the ballistae are out of action. Let's check in on the... Go and get involved. They're doing us a lot of damage. Fire into them.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
They're all in. Thranduil, come and get involved.
For the moment, the battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Let those go and get them. Ah, the Orc Raiders turned around. How are 41 of those running? Thranduil's on the pitch. Where are you running from? Ah, dear. Bit of a bloodbath, really. But it just doesn't matter. We've got so much money, we can almost play the elves as if we're orcs. Which is very rare, but we can. I mean, just... They're running. Swiftness. Oh, where are you going?
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Where's the general?
The enemy general flees like the coward he is. Press onward and break the spirit of his army.
I don't know where the general is, actually.
The enemy army flees the field. This is a clear
326 of them got away. We lost 628 for our pleasure, but Woodland Scouts got the most, 396. That was a bit of a crappy battle, really. Because I'm not very good at this talking and playing thing. So if I'm talking about something, I end up just not paying attention to the game whatsoever. And I feel very strongly that people should be less critical of how Sindarin sounds. And indeed, just say it how you want to bloody say it.
Yes, my lord.
Sindarin, you want to call it Sindarin. If you want to say run, call it run. Like, ignore the people that are constantly on you. Oh, it's pronounced rude. It's pronounced rude. I know it is. I suppose that is not really excusable, is it? If you know it's pronounced away and there's no physical reason why you can't say that, then go for it.
Onward.
Of course, the sounds in Mandarin are use an entirely different shape of the mouth than to English, which is part of the reason why it's so hard for us to say their words and so hard for them to say our words. Similarly, in Icelandic apparently uses some mouth forms that it's almost impossible for Westerners to reciprocate or to copy. And Mandarin is very much the same. Bloody difficult to say Mandarin. I have been to China. I have spent about a month there, and even in that time, just trying to say yes properly, or even thank you. I mean, the ups and downs. End the turn. It's all over the place. So it's tricky, but just be less critical about people who are so anal about, or not be less critical. This is more of a message to any of you budding elven enthusiasts. And someone shoots you down, then just ignore them. Just ignore them. I mean, I have the ability to moan about these people here to the wide world, just because I can.
My lord.
But I don't let them bother me. I moan about them more as a topic of interest, to highlight things that some people do, so that if some people are unaware, that we get people that talk that are like that.
My lord.
Right, gentlemen, Wooden Spearmen, you're going to Roscabel because Legolas is too good to waste there. Wooden Warriors, you're going to Ostingar.
My lord.
And all of you are going to Dorlingbar to teach these upstarts a bloody lesson. Oh, I'll take those off the hands. Oh, they're going to be 2 turns. Oh, Enethar likes us. We'll be alright. Can you train a non-cavalry unit? Yes, you can.
My lord. Come on!
Send those up. Oh, Ostingar got its roads. I'll take those 2 reasonably cheap buildings off your hands. You're too far away, I think, from being 33% Elven, I think it needs to be before it will consider coming back. Right, this guy is besieging us, but I really don't think he's going to succeed. Captain Hacknash, look at his pathetic army. What are you trying to achieve here, mate? You're just going to die.
Wipe the blight from this land.
The AI does something that I think no human can do, and that is never give up. You see this in games, in RTS games all the time. There's a point in a strategy game where you know you're dead. And you know that no matter what you do, you're just basically creating busy time. You're basically just stalling the enemy's victory. You're never going to win. You're never going to come back. They've beaten you. Just resign, do that stupid, annoying GG, and leave it at that. But the AI, of course, doesn't know how to do that. And it leaves you, it ends up with you just bloody hating their guts. Because all they do time and time again is stall you. And it just makes it so frustrating. And Dol Guldur are basically, we're coming up to that point. I wouldn't say we're there yet, but we're definitely closing in on that point. There is, soon enough, is going to be a point where we've basically beaten them. And yet, because the AI just can't physically quit, I don't even know where our allies are, the other side. They're just never going to give up. While Legolas is shooting them, let's have a look at some of our Lorien brothers. Here are the Lorien Wardens.
Seems to be swinging in our favor.
As you might imagine, they are just a grey version of our own spearmen. Although they do have different shields. There they are. I personally think the grey looks cooler than the wood. There's Yavanna's Chosen.
We must protect the woods.
Heavy halberd / pike style guys.
Weapons ready,
There's the Gurthiden hiding. Legolas is probably almost in combat actually, isn't he? No, he's alright.
Remove them.
Right, all of you, where are you coming from? Oh, you're coming from down there. Let's get them moving up. Oh, we're going to have a huge hill advantage. To be honest, just like run to there. Who can't run? Can you not? Oh, you go into Shieldtrum rather than Shield Pike Wall. That seems like an error. I don't know what they're doing at the moment as well. They're having a really bad day. Right, don't run away. Don't run away. We haven't got any Lorien archers. In fact, Lorien don't send us any archers because the Woodland Realm are the better of the two Wood Elf nations at archery. Now, we've made them that way, of course. They may not be in dare I say, real life. But in DaC, the Wood Elves of Thranduil are far better than the Wood Elves of Galadriel at shooting arrows. So they don't send any of those when you join together in unison. Also, I could probably get you to just stop where you are, actually. Because the enemy is really making a beeline for you. Except for you guys. Come over here. Most of you go there. Speed up. Legolas. Oh, you've got such a long range. Right, fire at will, lads. Try not to shoot our guys in the back, though. Are you holding them like spears or pikes? No, you are holding them like pikes. I find it fascinating that they can go in Shieldtrum formation. I wonder if Hummingbird did that on purpose. There's only like 4 units in the whole game that go into Shieldtrum, as opposed to Pike Wall. Let's see what it looks like. They basically just go in a circle. It just means that they can't be flanked. But the downside is it makes them totally stand alone. So they can't be flanked, yes, but then they become completely individual. You lose your wall of battle, and it allows the people around you to be flanked. So it's only really useful if they're the only unit left alive, or if they're operating kind of like as a satellite to your main army. But in any other situation, it's just a huge weak point in your battle line. Why you would choose to do it, I don't know. Here are our Gurthinen. You want to see their stats? You probably do. They have a 12 attack. They can hide anywhere. They're reliable in woods. They frighten enemy infantry, and they have a 15 defense. And just for those few who do like to learn how to what it's meant to sound like, there's the pronunciation Gurthinen. Now they are just a kind of a surprise shock troop. Surprise, cockbags! They are designed to pop up and inflict maximum damage on your enemy and then disappear again once that enemy is dead. This Dol Guldur host is really bearing down on Legolas. Get that last volley off. Oh, you didn't kill very many, did you? Run away. How are we doing in the wall? Oh, it's all over. It's all over already. They're running away. Cowards! We have lost 1% of our force. And basically the entire enemy line has died. Try and... yeah, that's it. Let's take them on a little goose chase then if they want to chase Legolas down. Legolas is so much faster than them. You lot, come up here. You're not really needed down there anymore. Legolas, Run up here. Where's the Girthen in? Come and hide. There we are. They're hidden. So now the Dogaldor host has got to climb up this hill under persistent and accurate arrow fire from the elves. And they're not going to do it. I wonder at what point they'll break. Maybe when they get to 30. Oh, you won't fire at will for some reason. Even more of the enemy are now shooting at you, Dogaldor host. They're dropping like flies. Oh, and there they go. And the 31 died. And, oh wow, Legolas has just absolutely stormed it. Oh dear, 3 times more than the nearest. I didn't think he did kill that many. I suppose at the beginning when he was just taking them down, that was just all him. Left unchecked, he's a mighty force. I can't wait to be able to train those Hinny now. The barracks event. We're only 2 turns away from it. And once again, we have Dogaldor. Not only do we now have Dogaldor, but they'll finish training. How quickly can we retrain this actually? 12 turns, that's not too far away. And what's our stats at the moment? Oh, 3% Elven. No wonder we can't train any of our own things. Those are abysmal.
I'm gonna stick you! Elves!
Alright, what do we think the enemy is going to do now that we've just succeeded? 1 free upkeep from that. 2 from that, so they'll be free as well.
My lord, elves.
Hold on to them for now. And another end turn. As I say, the barracks event should be turn 66. Or it was in either Angmar or Gondor or Khazad-dûm. One of those campaigns last week hit the barracks event. I think it was Khazad-dûm. Yes, it was, because I remember the dwarven helmets in the image. Oh, they've come out of Dor Lingvar to meet us. Captain Shagug. He outnumbers us over 2 to 1. And they've got some wargs. And again, it's just numbers. Just so many numbers. When did we get you? Did someone just come of age?
Send them back to their
Ah, no, he commanded that army, didn't he? That was an adoption. Man of the Hour. The problem with Man of the Hour is that it doesn't just make him a general, it makes him a family member. So he will be fully adopted into your royal line. Which, if you're someone like me and you're you're really quite old-fashioned, or I don't know, anal is probably a better word, about ensuring that your royal line stays in the actual bloodline of your royal family. I'm not bothered about it passing through daughters but as long as an heir to my throne is someone who is blood related to my starting faction leader, I'm fine. But it does mean that when you get like that, Man of the Hour, you're not going to turn down a Man of the Hour, because A, from an RPG standpoint, it adds a cool little thing that general has fought so well. He's been commissioned. But also from just a game standpoint, if someone has been suggested for joining, becoming a general, it normally means that their stats are going to be quite good. They kick off as good generals. So it's very rare that you turn down a Man of the Hour as opposed to a standard adoption. But as I say, they do then become part of your family tree. So they are then in line to your throne. And I like to keep my throne bloodline pure. We got our crappy horse archers again. Horse archers, what are your stats? Missile 7. 7 missiles. So they're actually, as archers go, as you'd expect being elven, they're actually really good. But just as cavalry go, and as standard elven melee stats go, they're a liability. There's the 2 different looks of the elites of Thranduil's realm, or the Woodland realm. Tawar Arainur, your bodyguards, and of course the Elven King's Guard. Firing into the rain. I'm not sure the effect, the full statistical effect that rain has on your forces, but it does weaken Archer Fire, and I don't know if it weakens it by making you less accurate, or if it weakens it by making your raw stat damage lower. I don't know which, but it definitely is a hindrance. You should always try and fight not in the rain. It makes your arrows worse. But that's not going to matter too much here because the enemy we're up against here is pretty abysmal anyway. So.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Although they are breaking through. Don't get involved, you daft buggers. You could
Our
definitely
men have slain the enemy general.
clip the edge off
Without
them.
him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
That unit on the left. Now I've been told that if you tell your units to not fire at will, they will more readily shoot at their own men. I'm not sure how much I believe that, but we'll see. Because all we've got in there is one man.
Only half the enemy force remains.
So I'd happily thump arrows into there over and over and over until we get as many kills as we can. Oh no, get involved. Turn sideways, there you go. The evil here must be lifted. You've had a critical error here. When your forces have been flanked, you haven't redeployed.
Behold how our cowardly foe runs. It's time to press the attack.
We finally have cavalry. We have an ability to charge down these pathetic, vile, twisted scum. On to the next. And then finally these lot. Look how many of those ran away. Plenty. And this is the garrison of Dorlinga. But this is what I mean by Dol Guldur are beaten. They just don't know they're beaten. Because these armies are not doing a single thing to us anymore. 219 with the Wardens.
This is a great victory, worthy of only the mighty.
These armies are a hindrance, are an annoyance at best. But the AI will continue throwing them out, even if it just had a single settlement left. Because it just can't physically resign, or it can't, which of course you don't really want. You don't want it to resign because it would resign so early if it did know when it was defeated, because the AI would most likely run a really intricate calculation about the amount of regions they have left, the amount of enemies they're fighting, the amount of troops present on the field, all sorts of things like that. So if they could resign, they'd resign so early, so much,
For the light!
to the detriment of
Swiftly.
all.
My lord. Come on! Conceal elven warriors.
Yay, we can retrain them. Dol Guldur has not been attacked. Not surprised, because it's got a mighty army now. Perfect timing with that Elven Alliance, isn't it? It's built its Valiant Council, and Ostingard got an artist studio. Delightful. Okay, Thranduil has Lunrad faces down on Thranduil.
My lord.
Oh, you might as well
For the
join with
light.
Thranduil as well.
My lord.
I don't know if he's going to have enough to really press on Dorlingvar. And our council wants us to take Aknodiorn, doesn't it? So let's see what we can do with these two.
By the light of Elbereth, like the wind. We will need that one. Scout the area. Take it for the elves.
I just don't like. You could take
For the
those as well
light.
with you, to be honest.
Come on!
That is more than
Ruin these
enough to
trees
hold
no
that town,
longer.
especially when you consider we get a garrison
Follow
there.
me, elves. Follow me, sire. Onward!
Right, those two join
Elves,
together and go for
we must get
Aknodiorn.
up the road.
Yes, my lord.
Where are we heading? We're heading to Bree.
Without
Yeah, we reached it.
question.
Oh,
Stopping
only to find
here.
Dunland.
I shall continue tomorrow.
I like the Bree building. Elite Dwarf, are you watching? I really like the buildings in Bree. Why am I telling you that? I'm going to tell you this way before you see this video. Let's try and get those integrated somehow. Let's get those into one of the settlements. And we'll end the turn again. I won't attack with Thranduil. I'll wait till he's got those two reinforcements. We'll let Dol Guldur build their army more into one big army that we can crush in a single decisive victory. But these hour-long episodes every now and then are good because they move the obviously they move the campaign forward so much. Once Dol Guldur lose Dorlingvar and Aknodiorn, they're really down to their lowest quality settlements. I'm going to auto-resolve that city. Clear defeat! Come
There's
on,
still
we're
time
elves.
to save our people.
Why did the second army not get involved? That's a bit of a joke. See how you do. Clear defeat as well.
Too many. We'll need reinforcements.
I'm going to have lost a little bit of money there. It's alright, let the Guldurians believe they're going to gain the upper hand. Alright, very well. And we've just hit the barracks events. Just as someone in our family tree has gotten married. Well done. Yay. Elder Council and Maithur Etherwar. The real strength of our army. Yes, please. Definitely take a unit of those. Right, let's try and divvy out these. Ah, is anywhere actually upgraded enough to get these better buildings? Dulguldur. Can finally get the Hinidower. Woodland Sentinels, the tier above Woodland Scouts. I'll take both of those from there. Right. We're not going to settle for that, so we'll if they think they've really got the upper hand, then let's see them deal
For
with
the light.
a real
Elves,
army.
scatter them.
Oh, you ran away?
Protect
Oh,
the
I'm not
elven
surprised.
lands. Come, my brothers. Take
Dwimberg
it for
bits,
the
art gallery.
elves.
Oh, you can get them as well. Yeah, go on then. Of course, castles. Castles are always useful.
By the light of Elbereth.
Ah, Dor Lingvar's been
Scatter them.
reinforced.
Put an end to this evil.
Oh, you can't use those. Oh, it's a castle, isn't it? It won't be actually made
Its
by the
end
orcs.
draws for the light. Onward.
You try and get involved.
Yes, my lord.
I don't think you're going to be able to make it, so
Elves,
you go and
come
reinforce
on.
Dostingire. And Bree.
Your orders. You
Yes.
have
Trade
a
rights.
proposition for us? You hold us another
Map info,
proposition
map
for
info.
us, then? You hold us at
Yes.
ransom.
Why do you not want to be our
What
allies?
else
We're
do you
really
have?
good
This
people.
This meeting was
Oh, you're doing well. Oh, you
Good,
haven't got that though.
Without question.
Ah, the
It will be an
Barrowites have come
honour
to reclaim it from
defeating you.
Dunland. Now, when I was talking about the pronunciation of Sindarin, I do think when there are things that you 100% know that you can say, you should try and follow them. So, for example, yes, you should try and say rune, because it's not difficult to say rune. But the things that I think you should really not take, you should really always take with a grain of salt and not take as absolute, like, gospel, is the rules around where the stress in words go. So, if a word has two syllables, you're meant to put the stress on either the first one or the second one, blah, 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 blah. I really don't think you should worry that much about that, because those are the kind of rules that are different depending on what you have already know from your own first language. So yes, certain words are pronounced the way they are. Like the word dune is pronounced dune. For example, a Chinese person or a Spanish or who else struggles with our kind of languages know, a French person. All of those people, none of them are going to try and pronounce dune like dune or anything like that. They would say dune. But the stresses and things are totally dependent on where you're from and what you know as a language. So just don't worry too much about getting those bits and pieces right. Okay, right, this is our army. Not very much. Let's use the siege equipment to really annoy the enemy. Get yourselves into position. Can you all stay where you are and you'll be alright? Yes, perfect placement, really. Right, fire as much and as often as you can, because that's all we've really got here. We must use our archers to do as much damage as we can, because we are severely outnumbered here, actually. Also, this time we're going to try...
Victory will be ours.
I'm going to try and use the cavalry as actual cavalry. Fire point blank into the core. Oh, no, they didn't. You guys can keep firing for some time, though. If we can kill Lunrad, then we've done well. Right, you guys, you're not... I would like you to use your full ammo allowance, but you, gentlemen, feel free to get involved. Same with Thranduil. You two are our best melee fighters here, so...
The battle is very
Get
much
killing.
in our favour. Victory will be ours.
Oh, see, that's a cool unit. I'd happily have the raider unit that comes from the fort, or the suggested raider unit that comes out of the fort. I'd happily have them looking like the Warg Marauder unit, but on foot. Because that's a unit we've not really seen, isn't it? There you go, shoot at something. How are you doing against the general? Oh, the general's chosen a very bad enemy. That's why I charged into him, actually. Keep on him, men. Step up. The cavalry can deal with them. Although they're in that rubbish formation. They don't charge very well when they've got arrows left either. As just proven there by the fact that they got no charge bonus whatsoever. Thranduil's out on a bit of a limb, but he'll be saved. Nobody on defense. Go on, go and get involved on those maulers. Oh, see, that was a brilliant charge. That was a phenomenal charge. 42% of the enemy has died. Let's try and get a charge on those units over there. Yes!
Only half the enemy force remains.
We've got routing. That's what raided. No. Try and get a charge again. Alright. Oh, they've finished. Keep them out. You gentlemen, yeah, come and get involved with them. Did the general actually die? He hasn't yet, has he? Where is he? He's over there. I think he's in amongst all that lot.
Good tidings.
Oh,
Enemy
no.
general
He's
lies
dead.
dead.
He's dead, worry not. Get a charge on those. Alright, pull back to here.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
In fact, the whole lot, the entire army, pull back. Oh, what are you doing? What is this formation? Oh, it's because of... No, it's just having a really bad day with it.
The walls are no longer ours. The enemy have taken them.
There we are. Are you shooting? This has been a phenomenal victory. I think as much as mundane and boring as the name is, Cleansing the Forest really does sum up what this is, isn't it? We've killed so many orcs in this episode. I did like the comment where somebody... the last video was called Target Practice, I believe, and somebody said this could be the name of every Elven episode. And I thought that was funny and accurate. We just need them all to be running at the same time for it to think we've actually won.
The battle is very much the enemy army.
And it's over. 117 less, we killed 1,709.
Let all who remember this
Elves,
day
man.
remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
After moaning about those woodland horse archers, they gained 6 experience points and they killed 487 orcs on their own. But they paid for it. I know that's a really good payoff. They killed 10 to 1 in terms of death to kills. They lost 40 men. They killed 500 men. But still, as elves go, and as elven horse archers who aren't especially cheap, that is quite a large amount of money. That's quite a lot. Withdraw. See if you can get away. No, you can't. I'm not going to bother fighting that battle. I'm going to make you auto-resolve. Although, I don't know, your woodland horse archers, I could probably get away with that. No, they've got archers of their own.
There are too many.
You'll happily merge with that other unit and we'll be alright. So we've reached the barracks event. Finally, we can start getting some of our better units in about 10-ish turns, somewhere in the next few episodes. In the meantime, we are, of course, I'll get that one as well. Merge those together. That means they lost 3 experience overall because of that merge. That doesn't matter. We can retrain, but it won't be to retrain them up to full steam. It will be armor. But with the loss of Dor Lingvar, the loss of Dol Guldur, and...
Sire!
Oh, where did that suddenly get an army from?
Come, my brothers! Take it for the elves! Destroy it! Keep them off balance!
Got those out of nowhere, didn't it? How much money are we making? Oh, we're still making so much. You might as well come and get involved. See if you can get down there in time.
Be vigilant.
How much do they cost? Let's just find out. They are 840. Oh, so no, it doesn't matter at all, actually. They're about as expensive as our militia. Gloin's making his way towards us there. It's a bit ominous. What on earth do you think you're doing, sir? Bugger off. Right, in light of all this money, although the fort's miles away, isn't it? I could do with getting one of these forts, but you can't get them unless you attack them. It's nice having forts to stage armies in. But we'll just take the monetary hit. We'll assemble an army that will come down from Thranduil's halls with Draugol. And we'll probably head out into the realm of Rovanion. Take lands from them there. Because I'd rather like them to hold on to Dor Lingvar, because it'll act as a buffer between us and Mordor. So I'm not too keen on taking that one, but I'll take the 2 in between, which is Aknodiorn. And is it Bursouthis? Yes, Bursouthis. Which will be that region just there and that region there, leaving them Rawberg, Dorthalu. Rawberg, there it is. And Ilanin, which is currently their capital. So there we go. We've pushed them out into crappy little villages, which really should limit, you'd hope, really should limit their ability to attack us.
Sire!
Thranduil, you go and find out who owns that fort. Oh, there's someone in it.
By the light of Elbereth!
You go and siege them. Build us a tower while you're there as well, actually.
We will need that one.
Speaking of towers,
Elves!
let's start getting some.
Set up an ambush. We will need that one.
Jammy buggers, look, they're over
Scout the
there.
area.
I'll have one in the
Orders
middle down there,
completed.
that should cover that. I'll keep a garrison and commander. And that will conclude this episode. So I thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. Apologies for the Gondor mix-up yesterday. That'll all be fixed up. And have a delightful Wednesday. Is all I can say. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navar Naden Pedibad Melonin, and farewell.